Mapagpalang araw mga ka-bless. Mayroong mga totoong kwento ng karahasan na nangyayari sa buhay na makukuhanan natin ng aral. Nangyayari ang mga ito maging sa mga pinakamayamang tao sa buong mundo. Sa papanoorin natin, ang kasakiman ay isang uri ng kasamaan at ito ay may kabayaran. Mag-ingat sa ating masamang motibo sa kapwa at bugso ng ating damdamin. Umiwas sa kasakiman upang hindi mapahamak kagaya ng nangyari sa kwento natin. Panoorin po natin.
Fresno, California, 2 days after Easter Sunday, 1992. Homicide Detective John Souza is called to a bloody crime scene. He's stepping into a complex dance with a killer that will consume his life for the next 3 years.
We looked into the kitchen area, and we seen a young lady laying face down. Then it appeared that she had been shot in the back of the head.
She's quickly identified as Tiffany Ewell, a 24-year-old college student. Her father lies nearby.
The next victim was Dale Ewell. He was lying in a hallway, face down, and also with one gunshot wound to the back of the head.
And further down the hall, Tiffany's mother, Glee.
Glee Ewell was shot 4 times. Twice in the back, 1 in the heart, and 1 in the face. She was on her back. She had her car keys in her hand.
This wasn't, gangsters killing gangsters. This was something that happened in a nice neighborhood. It was something that happened to a nice family.
Back in the 60s, if you had money in Fresno, you built a big house in the Sunnyside neighborhood. It's discreet and established, but not at all pretentious. Just the way Dale Ewell likes it.
Dale was a very private person. The area, actually, what they lived in was the kind of the older, influential area, but they didn't flaunt their wealth at all.
Dale is an ex-Air Force pilot who makes his millions selling small aircraft.
He was a good salesman, and he got very rich doing it. He built that business up very well.
He expands into real estate, buying up hundreds of acres of farmland. There's even change left over for a beach house at Pajaro Dunes in Monterey, California.
He made a lot of money. He's a hard-working guy and respected for that. I guess they always say he was a hard-nosed businessman, but honest.
Dale Ewell's dream is to build a fortune so his children don't have to work as hard as he did. His wife, Glee, supports him all the way. She's the model spouse, throwing herself into charity work.
Glee was very socially conscious. She was involved in a lot of charities, did a lot of that kind of charity work around Fresno. Popular woman.
She took care of her friends, saw to the sick and the needy. Was considered to be a wonderful friend.
For Detective John Souza, one lap of the Ewell's house has him asking questions. Is all this really the work of a burglar? Or is it just meant to look that way?
I've been to a lot of burglary scenes. Just been ransacked. It was just a ransack, not a burglary.
This wasn't a burglary. It was staged to look like a burglary.
A family photo holds a vital clue. Dale and Glee Ewell had 2 children. Tiffany is lying dead in the hallway. So where on earth is her younger brother, Dana?
It was the whole family except for Dana, the only son, who wasn't there.
Dana Ewell is missing. Is he a hostage or a victim? While police search for him, forensic examiners piece together what happened on that fateful Easter Sunday.
The investigation revealed that Tiffany got shot first. Glee heard her falling to the ground, came to that direction, seen the perpetrator, and took off running. she got shot and killed in the office.
At this moment, Glee's husband Dale still hadn't arrived home.
Dale came at a later time. We speculated anywhere from 15 minutes to a half hour. And so the crook waited for him to get there.
Startled cat burglars don't wait quietly for another person to come home. Hitmen do.
This had been an execution. This was premeditated. This had been designed.
Someone wanted Dale Ewell dead.
Dale Ewell had an unpleasant reputation as a businessman. People were often unhappy after they did business with Dale. He got the better end of almost all the deals he was in. And he might have made somebody angry enough to want to hurt him.
20 years before, he upset a local mafia figure in a business deal.
It's not normal for them to kill women and children unless they're doing what they call a root pull. And a root pull is when everyone gets killed.
A root pull is a possibility. But what about the missing son, Dana Ewell? Dana is the odd one out in the Ewell family. While his father plays down his millions, Dana plays them up.
Dana liked being rich. Dana liked being popular.
He fancied money. That's what he lived for, is wealth and the power and fame that come with it.
A student at Santa Clara University, Dana is known on campus for his luxury cars and imported suits.
Dana carried a briefcase to his classes in college. A nice leather, completely inappropriate briefcase, as everybody else is in sweatshirts and shorts. He wore button-down shirts, Dockers, and carried his briefcase.
So where was Dana while his family was getting shot?
He had gone with his girlfriend, who was the daughter of an FBI agent, to her house for Easter dinner. While his parents and sister were being murdered, he was having dinner at an FBI agent's house, hundreds of miles away. That's a pretty good alibi. It's about as airtight as you can get.
Alarm had been disengaged or was off. There was no forced entry. The house was locked.
Strange. And there's also something odd about the bullets that are used to kill the Ewells.
The thing they noticed quickly was these bullets had deep gouges down the sides.
The gyrations on the marks indicated to us that it was a suppressor or silencer used.
It's the preferred tool of a hitman. A silencer, so the neighbors won't hear.
The bullets that were recovered, they were able to determine that they were from the box of bullets in the house.
Dale Ewell and his family were killed with Dale's own bullets. But Dale's gun doesn't have a silencer.
So that means someone came with a gun with a silencer and appeared to maybe use the bullets from the family to kill them with. You don't bring a gun to a gunfight or execution with no bullets in it, unless you know there's bullets there to get.
And the execution theory begs one more question.
Someone was here waiting for them, the family, to show up. So how did they know when they were going to show up, unless they had inside information? It went transparent, went just white. And it says, "Oh," and closed the door.
Easter Sunday, 1992.
It was an execution.
The Ewell family returned from their beach house.
I'm just gonna make a sandwich, I'm starving.
One gunshot went to the back of the head.
One by one,
Glee had seen her daughter get shot.
they are executed.
They wanted the whole family killed.
By a killer who seemed to know just when they were coming home.
The purpose of the killing was not some random act, but it was an intentional killing of the entire family.
Dale Ewell is said to have had a tangle with a local gangster.
I was familiar with this alleged mafia figure. He's considered a hothead. He would not have waited 21 years to kill the family. And then secondly, he wouldn't kill the family. His anger was on Del Yule, not Glee or Tiffany.
This time around, the mob's hands are clean. But Detective John Souza has his eyes and ears wide open. The day after his entire family has been discovered shot dead, 19-year-old Dana Ewell returns to his family's home.
Who's that? That was your mother.
And so we go through this house, and there's several things that are just very strange.
What are they doing?
The first thing that turned their heads his way was when Dana walked through his mother's blood,
You can't go in there.
rather than step over it like almost any other victim would do.
We thought that was unbelievable.
Where's he going with that? I want an itemized list of everything that's taken from this house.
No tears,
I'll see what I can do.
no emotion at all. Just like it's all, everything's matter of fact.
Now suspicious, detectives comb through Dana's past. They discover a young man whose heart only beats for one love: money.
He wanted to be successful. He loved money. He talked about money. He liked to show off money.
Marcy Bonilla dated Dana in junior high.
He would lie when he could get away with it. He would manipulate. He just wasn't a very trustworthy person.
Marcy remembers Dana's strange fixation with his wealthy father.
It seemed like he would wear his dad's clothes. The pants he always wore were so big on him. One day he wore his dad's Rolex to school that would just hang from his arm. It was like he was trying to be his dad, I guess. Fill his dad's shoes.
Once in college, this leopard does not change his spots.
While he was in college, he got featured in one of the local papers as a self-made millionaire.
Check this.
You know, that he sold airplanes and he built this business up and made millions of dollars, and he was doing stock deals between classes while he was in high school. It was all a lie.
Wait, you made this up?
Hey, jump in if you lift the class.
Okay.
I'll see you guys later.
He had claimed all these things that his father had done. He was sort of taking his father's legacy, if you will.
You ready, old man?
Dana wants to be just like his father. Not because he loves the man, but because he loves his money.
They asked themselves, why would he do this? What was the motive? The family's wealth was a strong motivation. I mean, there was millions of dollars in the family's estate that would go to Dana.
I want an itemized list of everything that's taken from this house.
Once the detectives started looking at Dana as a possibility because of the way he had acted, because of some of the things he had said, they obviously knew they needed to find the actual gunman because Dana's alibi was airtight. So they went to Dana's college and started asking around.
At college, Dana plays the rich big shot, which makes one choice of friend very curious.
Dana being the $200 shirt and $100 tie guy, he's running around a guy cut off Levi's and just a slob.
This slob is named Joel Radovich.
When I got a hold of him, I said, well, I understand that, you were good friends with Dana and, his parents got killed. And I said, yeah, I heard that. And he goes, are you going to arrest me?
That makes detectives suspicious. So then they started looking at how can we connect Dana to Joel, Joel to the murder.
Dana made numerous comments to people that we would never solve this case because we're not smart enough, and that the only reason we were cops because we weren't smart enough to get any other job.
If John Souza wasn't already as motivated a detective as ever lived, them dishing him ramped it up. He was more determined than before to see this to its conclusion. This was boy against man.
John Souza is like a dog with a bone, and Dana's friend Joel is looking more and more like the hitman. His alibi for the night of the murders is weak.
That's the silencer right there.
He's ordered books about building pistol silencers, and he and Dana act like people with something big to hide.
Dana was a person that you couldn't follow because he was looking at the mirror all the time.
They were communicating in ways that drug dealers did back in the early 90s. They both had pagers, and they would page each other, then go to a payphone. And and call back.
Those tactics may dodge a modern wiretap, but they're no match for old-fashioned eavesdropping.
They'd have an agent go up and use the phone next to him, pretend to carry on a conversation, try and hear, Dana or Joel talking.
Finally, a breakthrough. Detectives discover that unemployed Joel has spent over $30,000 on flying lessons.
Dana was paying for them, and that was a significant amount of money, and we needed a money connection.
Is this payment for murder? It's time to turn the screws.
They told Dana they believed Joel had done it. They wanted to see Dana's reaction.
And he went transparent, went this white. And he said, oh, and closed the door.
It isn't long before Dana and Joel hit the payphones again. As Joel starts his call, an undercover cop listens in.
I'm starting to worry about this a little bit.
Now they're starting to talk about the murder.
I need to know if I can get charged in this whole free shirt deal.
Don't talk to anybody.
We obviously conclude that being the 3 bodies.
Just lay low.
There's one missing piece in this puzzle,
Calm down, all right?
the murder weapon.
Over time, the detectives found other people in Joel's circle of friends.
Detectives discover that Joel Radovich had an illegal lockpick sent to a friend's house. They wonder what other illegal connections Joel has with his friend.
I felt if he was shown that we had an arrest warrant for 3 counts of murder, he would come clean.
Has Joel's friend owned a gun before? He has. A 9mm pistol, just like the one that was used on the Ewells. He sold it to Joel Radovich, and after the murder, Joel gave him a confession.
He eventually said that Joel had confessed. He told him he had committed these murders.
We retrieved the barrel, cleaned it up, and shot it, and positively identified it as a murder weapon.
Dana Ewell is arrested amid the wreckage of his perfect crime. After years of tenacious police work, the evidence is overwhelming, and a stubborn underdog cop handcuffs a guilty man.
Dana's position to this day is that he's innocent, that there's nothing for him to be remorseful about in the murder of his parents.
What he did was obviously very evil. And the one that made me madder than the fact he killed his parents, he killed his sister. So he wouldn't have to split the $8 million. That's the only reason she died. That was, to me, was evil. That's strictly about money, period.
Ayan po, mga ka-bless, nakakalungkot po ang nangyari sa ating pinanood na kwento. Ito po ay totoong nangyari sa buhay ng tao, ng pinakamayayamang tao. Mga ka-bless, kailangan po natin ng Diyos sa ating puso at ating isipan upang makapamuhay tayo ng malinis at matiwasay. Tanggapin natin siya bilang hari ng ating puso at isipan. Ano man ang ating ginagawa, matakot tayo sa Diyos na may likha ng lahat. God bless all.